Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chu, a physical therapist. Hey, today we've got a special guest. Our topic is called "What is Common Care?" with Tyler. We'll be back in a few seconds. Okay.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Well, hello, Facebook friends, you friends, and of course our JHack friends. We're streaming this on the Alternative Healthcare Career Group. So we have this special guest today. We've been wondering how can we get our own private insurances. When you're a private practice, how do you get your private insurance if you are like me? I've been getting it through health.gov, but I found this company called CommonCare, and I reached out to them, and then they have this website. If you have a hard time maneuvering the healthcare.gov website, which like have a hard time, reach out to them, and they're going to guide you and walk you through it to use your what we call this, your healthcare credit. So let me just introduce who will be interviewing today. His name is Tyler Hall, and he's the principal engineer at CommonCare, and he's been in the healthcare policy, tax consulting since 20 wasn't even born yet. And I have built and sold, not me. He has built and sold business in high automated accounting, solar, and tax software. And of course, he's part of the founding team at CommonCare, which just recently started here in 2023. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Tyler. Tyler, where you at? There you, brother. Tyler, can you please tell us again who you are? What are we doing here, man?
You bet, man. I'm one of the founding members at CommonCare. Principally, I'm a software engineer, and that's mostly what we do is build software to help people navigate group health plans, particularly, but how they can get choice and transparency into their process for selecting healthcare through employer-sponsored plans, primarily employer-sponsored plans. We can do stuff outside of that world, but that's where a lot of the complexity and like health policy and stuff exists. What do employers have to offer? Why does my employer choose my health insurance for me? Is this a good deal? So some tooling and processes for handling how to do that alternatively that's what we do.
Perfect. So tell me again, I mean, the name Common Care, it's just very common and then care. So why Common Care, since you're one of the founding member? Why did you call it Common Care, right?
Yeah, one of our flagship concepts is what's called our common funds, which is a little bit antithetical to insurance as a concept. It's a way to put money aside to pay your own medical bills rather than kind of the premise of insurance is someone else is going to pay my medical bills. I just pay this premium. And common funds is a way to pool funds, not bills. So it allows you to put funds away through an employer plan on a tax-free basis to pay for your own out-of-pocket costs for whatever healthcare expenses you have pop up, whether it's in conjunction with like a major medical policy or even like a health share, or if you're not using insurance, either way, people have out-of-pocket expenses through deductibles, co-insurance, and whatnot. Being able to pay those tax-free, but putting your own funds aside and being able to pay them without running through the whole rigmarole of enrolling in a high deductible health plan so I can put money into an HSA, which is more of like an investment vehicle. So anyway, common funds is the ideal of how we look at shifting health policy, which is more towards individuals being invested in paying their own medical bills and keeping what they don't spend. There can still be, we still believe in coverage over the top for unfortunate things that happen to people, and even just high cost medical claims that happen throughout your life, but getting insurance pushed way back into the background of unexpected and unlikely events rather than controlling all of your healthcare.
It's so true. It's so true. A lot of people, especially in our group, the Alternative Healthcare Career Group, we have people who are asking, "Hey, just right now, I'm looking at Facebook. This random person said, "Hey, what are you going to do for those people who are independent contractors? Business, small business owners like me, and of course, me. We have employees less than 50, like what Darin mentioned. Hey, are you less than 50 employees? Yes, we are less than 50 employees, and
Yep.
what can I give to my employees? And apparently they have this tax credit that we can use. I personally use them, with me and my family. I do have that high deductible just for emergency stuff. So could you please tell us again, what is this tax credit that you're talking about, or your
The
other
premium
staff
tax credit.
member that was talking to me or sharing me earlier? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That premium tax credit has been around since Obamacare rolled out. It's one of the staples of the whole concept. It's weird, because it's not really in your face. People go to healthcare.gov and they see that the plans are subsidized, but they actually just post the subsidized premium instead of explaining to people this is actually a tax credit. It's predicated upon your income being accurate here. If your income changes, the tax credit could change and so on. But what that is it's a way to equalize the cost of healthcare for everybody not covered by an applicable large employer. In other words, an employer with 50 full-time employees or more. Those guys already controlled 80% of the commercial insurance space. So pre-Obamacare, employer-sponsored plans, everybody knows that's where you went and got your coverage with no pre-existing condition exclusions because of all the ERISA laws. They already had some of the Obamacare stuff in place. And the Obamacare predominantly deals with that. And that's the main focus of all the vehicles of Obamacare. But there's this small employer market that's like 30 million Americans that don't participate in a plan like that and don't have government care. So they rolled out a premium tax credit for those people, which is actually an interplay between whatever your employer offers and what the tax subsidy is able to offer you. And what your employer offers or doesn't offer can disqualify your tax credit. So all along, that premium tax credit has been integral to employer-sponsored health plans. It's just that it's never been really marketed. No, that's not how it was marketed by healthcare.gov and stuff. So as a small employer, don't just run around offering a group contract to your employees for health insurance, because they'll forfeit their premium tax credit. And the small group Blue Cross Blue Shield or United plans or whatever, they're not cheaper than the individual plans for the most part across the board. But also, if you start picking down to individual ages and family sizes, they're definitely not cheaper. So you don't get a better plan. You forfeit the tax credit. You spend your own private money on a health plan for under 50 full-time employee employers. That is nonsense. They just feel often pressured into doing it because offering benefits is like the mysterious cool thing to do.
I know, right? So, I mean, I'm just blessed that most of our staff that works for us, employees, they're married to someone who has insurance. Because most of my therapists are female, obviously, physical therapists, occupational therapists. But especially me, I'm the father. I need to provide that healthcare to my kids and my wife, so I had to go to healthcare.gov. But most of our employees or that works for us, they get their insurance from their spouses. But
Yeah.
if you are watching right now, you're in the alternative healthcare career group, or if you are an individual, common care will help you navigate the difficult stuff in healthcare.gov, and they will help you facilitate how many credits or tax credit that you can use if you got kids, if you're an independent contractor, or if you are working for someone else and they're not providing any benefit, like in our company. I mean, Jerry have it's in our company, it's hard to provide because we're not the, what you call this, we're not the typical outpatient or clinic. We're not big enough to provide provided. It's very expensive. I looked it up to Tyler, like 800 per employee just for my share, and then 800 for their share.
Yeah.
So it's 1600 for. And then we cut the half because I have to provide the half, and then they paid the half, so it's 1600. And then the deductible is the same.
Yep.
So might as well get this. The use your tax credit. Tyler will explain it more. Tyler, are you going to be able to share your website and show how you automatically compute? Is there like a sample
I
thing
can.
that you can show to us how they can walk through, or later
Yep.
we could I mean, I have your website
I can
scrolling
show you.
down here. So
Yeah. Do you
but
want me
again,
to
for those people who are watching, oh, what? I'm sorry.
try to do that?
I'm losing you a bit, Tyler.
Sorry about that. You want me to share? I can walk through it.
Yeah, if you mind, share your screen or whatever. If not, I can pull up here from here too. I already got your website pulled up here. So
I can probably show you something that would feel more helpful to the audience so they can understand why this approach is interesting.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Why are we cutting off? So
How are we doing? Are you hearing me?
yeah, for some reason I'm losing you for a second though.
Let's see. Yeah, my connection seems okay. Can you hear me?
Tyler, you still there?
Yep.
There you go. I lost you, or I lost myself for a second. So yeah, where were we?
I was just going to share. I was going to walk you through the screen share.
I see you're sharing your screen. Do you want to share a specific page?
Yeah. Can you see it?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me walk you through. You were talking about employees having a spouse that has like an employer plan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's walk through one of those and show you how the individual market compares so we can decide if it's really a blessing to have an employer sponsored health plan, or how we would decide if it's a good deal. Are you seeing this okay?
Tyler, I'm losing you. I can see it, but you're cutting off. It's either me or you who's cutting off. So
Let me see just a second.
well, while we're waiting, we are having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching live, comment live. Watching on the replay, comment replay, and I apologize for the uh, what do you call this? For the delay. We're having some internet issues. I don't know if it's my connection or Tyler's connection, but I think he's back. Let's go and bring him back there. There you go. You back there, Tyler?
Did we do any better?
There you go. I can hear you now. So
Okay. Let me present. I'll share my screen and I'll walk you through an employer sponsored plan. You hearing me better now?
Yeah, they're still cutting off. So,
Got a little
but
bit
at
of a
least I
lag.
can hear you.
Okay. Okay, look,
There you go.
here is what you might be used to as an employer sponsored plan. This is for a large employer, and this will, I know we don't have large employers on this call, but I just want you to understand that you're not actually behind when it comes to offering benefits to your people. So the money to pay for healthcare, it never comes from outer space. It's always coming right out of employees' pockets, always, no matter what. The insurance company's still going to make money. The employer is still going to make money. No one's going to pay your health expenses for you. Cool. So here we have a high mark Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, pretty typical, low deductible, no age banded rate, so all the employees have the same rate. And then we have a census of employees earning however much income they're earning, and we run a simulation for them. And we say, well, what if every employee just had their choice of the best plan available to them versus this super generous employer plan? I have almost $1 million in premium being spent today. I have out-of-pocket expense that's pretty low because my deductibles are low, and a net cost of healthcare. If everybody chose the best plan available to them, I'd cut my cost in half. This is real numbers. And my out-of-pocket cost would go up. I can walk you through why that is. Lowest deductible does not mean best. There's a premiums cost dollars just like out-of-pocket costs cost dollars. So, but we can cut the cost down a lot. And part of the way that we do that is a lot of people in today's market can use alternatives like medical cost sharing. And if they don't have pre-existing conditions that are serious, that's a great option for them. If I'm going to pay into a pool of people that's going to share my medical bills, especially if I'm self-employed, I don't have a lot of pre-existing conditions or expensive things I'm dealing with, I don't want to pay into a risk pool that's sick. I would like to participate in sharing costs with other people who are healthy and with a group that is conscientious about what kind of conditions we share, versus letting people just kind of come in and dump their costs into the plan. So we take and look at the best plans available. Here's this employee, age 50, making 88,000 bucks. Their employer plan for their family versus the marketplace of regular insurance. Here, if we refresh this, we'll get more results. Versus private insurance, not on the marketplace, versus alternatives like health shares. And when people are given their own money to spend and allowed to choose between these options, you find out that people that are healthy want options that reward that. And people that have pre-existing conditions can join what is become the de facto sick pool of our marketplace, which is the ACA exchanges. Employers, it's strange that they kind of want to get their HR department and their broker and corner this option for every employee in the company, even though it's only best for a small number of those employees. And it's only best because their coworkers are subsidizing their premiums. Now, what you want to see is the marketplace view. And if anybody wants to go to commoncare.org/marketplace, you can do this just with your own household as well. But we take each employee's household and we take medical bills that are within their risk profile. And you can identify what you think your risk profile is. I won't speak too much to actuarial numbers here. Just that's kind of in the weeds. But we take medical bills like this. We run 100 years of medical bills for every member of the household. And one of the hardest things about paying for medical bills is they don't come year after year equally. They come whenever they come. I got a $46,000 a year and then zero. So that's hard to factor in. But we take those bills 100 years for every member of the household and run them against the deductible and out-of-pocket structure of every plan available to them. Alternatives alongside traditional insurance, including premium tax credits or no premium tax credits. And we like here, this person gets $16,000 a year to spend on premium tax credits. These pink plans, the ACA exchange plans, they can spend their premium tax credit on the premium. So anyway, that's how we measure which plans are ideal, what people are likely to choose, which insurance options are available to them against their employer plan. For small employers that aren't currently offering any kind of health insurance, this is just a great way to allow your employees to enroll in an employer-sponsored, payroll-administered chassis for healthcare, but you don't have to buy a group-sponsored plan and resell it to them through the payroll. You're just allowing them their choice. Optionally, you could be giving them an allowance to spend towards these plans if you wanted to. So I'm just gonna, our process is extremely objective and thorough. We don't sell any of these plans. We just analyze them and report back what option is most likely to be economical for you. Yeah. So let me pause for a second and see if there's questions, or give a minute to free to give feedback so I don't just ramble on about complex information.
I was been talking. Well, so I guess my question, Tyler, is that so an individual can do it, a small employer like me can also do it and offer it to their employees, right?
Small employers can do some extra stuff, like wrap some tax advantage into the choices, depending on what depending on what they want to offer. So employers are granted some special tax provisions that allow employees to agree to pay their premiums through the payroll, do it tax-free if they want to do that. And our platform structures employer-sponsored health plans, auto-generates documents, manages enrollment and reporting. Even though smaller than 50, they're not reporting to anybody. And all of that allows them to grab tax advantage where possible. If you have employees that want to participate in an HSA, you can do that pre-payroll tax instead of just tax deductible. If you want to put funds aside or provide dental coverage or other ancillary things, you can do those wrapped into an employer health plan. So we make that easy without having to do it through an insurance contract. So, and now employees can still choose traditional insurance, non-traditional stuff like health shares, and they can do it payroll facilitated with the employer's logo there, which, as stupid as that sounds, it just allows employers to give an easy answer to the question of, do I offer benefits? The answer is yes, I offer benefits. And actually, this approach kicks the butt of most large employer benefit programs. I could go on and on about why that is and why there's a lot of inefficient costs in those programs. But that money is not a gift. It's money that is spent from the employee's compensation on the benefits program that they feel kind of trapped by, but it's their money that's spent on it. That the fiduciary laws are extremely clear about this. That's employee money that gets spent on that. And most employees would be better off saying, could I just have the money and choose the best option for me individually? Anyway.
That's so true. That's so true. They already have it. They have the benefits, right? As well use it both for employers like small employers like me, or even individuals. So again, Tyler, thank you very much. Of course, I also like what you said about the HSA. Darin, your guy, showed that to me too, but I didn't sign up, so I just put down the lowest one for the Blue Cross Blue Shield. But someday I'll do the HSA because I just pay out of pocket all the time. He said that I can use that, but I just don't want to do multiple cards. I know you're going to give those HSA card, but I just can't track it anymore, man. So, but again, where can they find you? Is there like obviously your website? We're scrolling it down here. Can they go to that website and then other things like that? Where can they find you?
Yeah, if you go to commoncare.org/marketplace, that's where you can shop as an individual for what our analysis will provide for you. And there's tons of contact information on there. You can call us, text us, book an appointment, get analytics for your business and what's available for your people. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, so all of that is easy to do. We're easy to find. We like to talk about this stuff and answer questions. I prefer that people look at the numbers empirically. Health insurance has been sold as kind of a scare tactic to people for too long. So it's good to look at, how's my healthcare getting paid for, and am I picking an efficient path towards doing that? And how much do I trust this insurance company to manage my health spend? And pay my doctor and keep the incentives aligned and so on. Is people are ready for a different depth of that conversation depending on who you talk to.
So true. Is there any other company who does this, like your any other competition, or are you pioneering this yourself?
That's a hard question. There are shades of this. So like ICHRA, what a
Mhm.
terrible acronym. Individual coverage health reimbursement arrangements is the official legal term coined by the IRS for how to tie your employer health plan to individual insurance policies, commercial insurance policies. They can't offer alternatives. They can't offer, yeah. But so ICHRA is a big movement right now. Big movement. They have proposed multiple tax credits. It's a big part of the conversation that's tied up Congress lately. There's a lot of ICHRA providers that have been around since 2020, and they're like us. We do administer ICHRAs. We just don't trap the money in the ICHRA. If you're an employer and you offer that to your employees, you trap the money in that HRA, health reimbursement arrangement. You can't use it on other things. It's not flexible. You can't, if your spouse has a plan, you can't roll that money over and use it on a non-commercial individual health insurance policy. You can't roll it out, pay taxes on it, and take it home. You can't do a lot of things with that money. So even though that structure does provide a lot of choice, it's a little bit of the illusion of choice because, again, the ACA marketplace is not a very efficient marketplace. It's a sick pool. And if you're going to buy an ACA plan, you should probably consider that you should do that only if you're sick, because that's what the risk represents. That's in the people that are buying the plans alongside you. You're sharing medical costs with people that are having high claims. So that would be like being a driver that had 10 years of no speeding tickets and no accidents and joining a insurance pool of people with multiple DUIs, multiple speeding tickets, crashes, and sharing equally in the premium. Like, that wouldn't be very sensible for you to do. So that, anyway, if you're going to participate in the commercial health insurance world, just realize that that's a sick risk pool, and that's who you're sharing costs with. If you're not sick, you should seek alternatives. And our platform is alone in structuring sophisticated enough health plans to let people do both. So we are alone at doing that. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much, Tyler, for explaining everything. Again, for those people who are needing, healthcare plans, especially that it's now open enrollment, reach out to CommonCare, Tyler or Darin. They got an amazing program. They'll walk you through. I do believe we have an affiliate link, but I don't know if it's set up yet. But just talk to these guys here. I already signed up for myself. I already got, I used up all my tax credit, and that way I could pay the smallest amount. I do have 3 girls, 3 kids, my wife, of course. And of course, we signed up some of our staff to join and get this. There's a little bit of challenge walking through, but doing the website. But if you set up an appointment or a call with Tyler or Darin or whoever their team is, they will walk you through. They'll do a Zoom call or a Google Meet or whatever, share screen. They'll walk you through it. And that way you can understand what's really best for you, for your family, and what your budget is. I mean, I want to pay the lowest one. I want to use all my credits that I can use. And of course, that also depends on how much you're making. If you're making too much, of course, less credits, right? So this really depends on your situation, your health, your family members, and of course, your financial situation. Because some people, they can afford more. Some people, like me, I want to save more and keep the money for myself. Again, thank you very much, Tyler. Appreciate you. But any last parting wisdom for them, Tyler?
No, if you want to keep more of your money, don't pile it into insurance premiums. I mean, it's awesome that if a tax credit pays your premiums, that's a different story, and you should consider that. When you sign up for health insurance, you're guaranteeing a loss at the beginning of the year unless you have something catastrophic take place. So I think there's better ways for people to approach it. And I don't sell any of them, so none of them pay me to say that. I just think analyzing your options, treating it with a little bit of skepticism, since it's a lot of money that people are asking of you, and nobody's out here to help you per se. They want to make money. So you want to make good deals. Be careful about who you trust with your healthcare spend. Americans generally agree that insurance has not been a good steward of their healthcare spend, but they continue to pile their money into it anyway. And I think they should think twice.
That's so true. That's so true. But again, thank you very much, Tyler. Appreciate you. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word fast, FAST, letter F. Find people that will bring out the best in you, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Today, I hang out with Tyler. I want to feel like I want to do some insurance too, right? But remember, they don't sell stuff. They don't sell the insurance. All right. So next letter is letter A. Take action. All this stuff that we're doing is not going to do me good. It's not even going to do Tyler good or CommonCare good if you don't take action. Take action. Go to their website, commoncare.org/marketplace. If you want to check them out. Next letter is letter S. Share and subscribe. The more shares, the better. Share, because it may not be applicable to you, but it could be applicable to someone else who needs some insurance out there, for people who are like me, still working, we're not Medicare qualified yet, right? So, share it. And then last but not least is letter T, is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more. And that's what Tyler is doing. He's teaching us how to understand the insurance realm, how to save your tax credit, and how to use your tax credit. Again, thank you very much. Be awesome, be great, be excellent, and we'll see you in the next episode of
Hello
our
Note
Jerry Hack
is a
Show.
truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care.